So Timothy Dixon has now seen that I've set my mouth against him, and he's started making up these fanciful stories trying to attack me, twisting my prophecy that I did about him, the Leviathan, showing he is one of the Leviathans mentioned in the Bible in Job 41. These are the ones that tricked the people into worshiping a false idol while Moses was on the mount. And this was something that had never been revealed and taught before until I taught it. Realize that the Leviathans are the Levites. Just like you had the Corinthians and the Thessalonians, you had the Leviathans, the Levites, who tricked the people into building and worshiping that false god, that trump. These are the Levites of the today, the Leviathans. So now he's made up him a new fanciful story about the fisherman in the boat. So I'm going to show you just how easy it is to make up one of his fanciful stories and twist it, just like he's twisted much of my prophecy over the last few months so that it could prop up his savior Trump. So I was in the boat with some other fishermen, and this is to challenge his last video, his lying divination. I had a dream that I was in a boat with some other men, and we were fishing on behalf of Jesus for the salvation of the fish. And we were on the sea, and I could see that the fish in the sea were peoples. The peoples, nations, multitudes, and tongues, which is mentioned in Revelation chapter 17, verse 15. How the sea, the waters, are the peoples, nations, multitudes, and tongues. But I had also seen there was a second boat, and Satan was standing in it, and he was looking for trophies. He wasn't fishing for men like we were to save their souls. He was fishing for men to devour their souls. And he sent his Leviathans, he was sending his Leviathans out to devour those souls for him. And what was odd was that these Leviathans that he was sending out looked like cuttlefish. And if you know anything about cuttlefish, hence their name, they have a cuddly, cute look to them. They're like wolves in sheep's clothing. They look harmless, but they're actually ravenous and devour other fishes, other men. So Satan was throwing out his cuttlefish into the sea so that they could devour the souls. And there was one which was very large, and Satan held it up and showed us, and he was proud of this cuttlefish. And what was odd to me, that it was a cuttlefish, but it had the face of Timothy Dixon. That's what was really odd to me. And Satan proudly told us, this is my special lure. This is my special bait that I use to devour many souls. And Satan tossed him into the ocean, to the sea. And the thing about cuttlefish is they have a bright, illuminating, hypnotic light about them. They have this light, which is like truth. It acts almost as like truth when it's actually lies. And it lures its prey into believing, by believing that it's harmless and that it is a beautiful light, like it's a beautiful truth. And then when its prey gets close enough, it devours it. And Satan calls its cuttlefish back to it, was calling. We saw us in the other boat. He was calling his cuttlefish back, and he was so very proud of his cuttlefish that he had named Timothy Dixon, that had a face that looked like Timothy Dixon. He said, "See the truth of the word, how Satan can send out wolves in sheep's clothing, how he could send out a cuttlefish that would hypnotize with lies and light, what the souls and the men believed was light, when it was actually a devouring fire, a devouring evil spirit, but it was hypnotized to come to it." And see how these leviathans can hypnotize you with their words and lying divinations, and see how easy it is to make up such a fanciful story in such a short period of time. And when you have a silver tongue like Timothy does, when Satan gives you a silver tongue of lying divination, it makes it that much more easier, because this is one of his gifts, the gifts of lies, because he is the father of all lies. But he is like the cuttlefish. He is a light that has a hypnotizing effect that lures its prey close to it so that it can be devoured. So see, Timothy, your lying divinations can be easily matched in the blink of the eye, because the power of God is omnipotent. You may have a silver tongue, but God is all powerful and can give me the power to make up just as good of fanciful stories as you to match your lying divinations. You people be aware and stay away from the cuttlefish, the Leviathans that are hypnotizing you only to draw you near to devour you like ravenous wolves in sheep's clothing. God bless.